All right, let's get right into it. When we talk about AI, it's so easy to just think about chatbots. But what's happening right now, the real breakthroughs, are so much bigger than that. We're going to dive into how AI is fundamentally changing our world as we speak. So here's how we're going to break it all down. First up, we'll talk about the massive conceptual shift from AI as just a tool to something more like an active partner. Then we'll peek under the hood at the hardware that's actually making this all possible. We'll look at some mind-blowing examples of how this is already changing our cities and our health, and even how it's speeding up science itself. And finally, we'll tie it all together to really understand this new era of AI that doesn't just talk, but does. Okay, so let's start with the biggest leap in thinking here. Imagine the difference between a simple calculator and a real financial advisor. One just answers your questions, the other helps you strategize. That's pretty much the shift we're seeing right now, and it's the most important idea to get our heads around. For the past couple of years, this has been our reality with AI, right? We give it a pretty simple command, kind of like a super smart autocomplete, and it spits back some text. And don't get me wrong, it's been incredibly useful. But it's always been this passive thing. It just waits for us to tell it exactly what to do, step by step. But just look at how that conversation is changing. We're not just asking it to write anymore. We're asking it to analyze a whole bunch of data, figure out who needs to be contacted, decide what the priority is, and then actually take the next steps. It's like the difference between asking for a recipe versus telling a chef to just figure out dinner, cook it, and serve. And that brings us to this term you're going to hear a lot more about: agentic AI systems. The key word there is agent. It has agency. It can make its own decisions and carry out multi-step plans with a whole new level of autonomy. We're already seeing these systems get plugged into complex business workflows, handling tasks that used to need a person watching over them every second. But here's the thing. For an AI to actually act in the real world, it needs way more than just clever software. All these amazing new abilities depend completely on some equally amazing breakthroughs in the physical hardware, the chips that actually do the thinking. And a huge piece of news on that front is this recent deal between NVIDIA and Grok. Now, we all know NVIDIA is the king of training AI. That's the super heavy-duty process of teaching the model in the first place. But Grok is a specialist in something called inference. Think of it this way. Training is like studying for a test for months, but inference is the moment you have to take the test, recalling the right answer in a split second. And as AI gets more complex, the speed of taking that test is the new bottleneck. That's exactly what this partnership is trying to fix. So why should you or I care about a corporate deal like this? Well, it's not just business news. This is about building the superhighways for this new generation of AI. It means that the AI in your car, or your phone, or in a hospital can make decisions instantly, without that frustrating lag. It's the essential plumbing that lets these new agentic systems actually function out there in the real world. Okay, so we've got the big concept, we've got the hardware that powers it, but where is this stuff actually showing up? Where is it making a real difference in our lives right now? Well, one of the most incredible examples is in public infrastructure. The entire city of Nagpur in India is basically a live test bed for AI-powered policing. I'm talking about systems that can watch live video feeds from all over the city, spot traffic problems, track vehicles in real time, even use facial recognition. This isn't some movie plot. It's being deployed at a citywide scale today. But here's what's so fascinating. This AI revolution isn't just about massive top-down government projects. No. In the very same part of the world, this power is being used on a completely different scale. In fact, it's being driven by someone who is just 17 years old. And this contrast is so important. That 17-year-old built AI-powered devices to help patients with paralysis in their rehab. So you've got this huge state-run system on one hand, and a deeply personal, human-centered tool on the other. It just goes to show that the power of AI is becoming accessible to everyone, and it's being used to solve tangible human problems way beyond our computer screens. And the impact doesn't stop with our public and personal lives. Maybe one of the most profound changes is happening to the process of scientific discovery itself. AI is literally changing how we do research. And this is happening on two fronts. First, the AI models themselves are getting so much more sophisticated. They're capable of the kind of deep, nuanced reasoning that science demands. And second, researchers are starting to use these systems as actual partners in their work, from brainstorming a hypothesis to analyzing data and even helping to write the final report. It's like having a brilliant and absolutely tireless research assistant on your team. The impact of this is just staggering. In these supercritical fields, like discovering new medicines or modeling climate change, AI is helping scientists find breakthroughs in a tiny fraction of the time it used to take. It's no longer just a fancy calculator, it's a true research collaborator. So let's pull all these threads together now. The agentic systems, the powerful hardware, the real-world applications, and see the one single trend that really defines this moment in AI history. This, right here, really boils it all down. We are in the middle of a fundamental shift, away from AI as a passive tool that simply responds to us, and toward active, autonomous systems that can actually go out and do things in the world, often without waiting for a next command. So, this is the big picture. This isn't just about getting a better chatbot. This is about a whole new class of technology that doesn't just process information, it interacts with the physical world. It's an AI that can monitor a situation, make a decision, and then take a real action. And the most important part, this is not some prediction about the future. This is the reality we are all stepping into right now. As we wrap up, this incredible speed of change leaves us with one last really crucial question to think about. As we build these AIs that don't just respond, but act on our behalf in our cities, our labs, and our lives, how do we make absolutely sure that their actions align with our best intentions? That right there is the challenge that's going to define the next chapter of this incredible technology.